So the obvious and first question is, patient, doctor, have you approached it any differently now that you're coming at it from the patient side? And what have you learned as a patient that you never thought you'd learn before?
It's a hard question because I've been doing home care and house calls for 7 and 24. You know who I am? I thought maybe I'd be more compassionate. What I learned is I spent hours on the telephone fighting with insurance companies. For one, this was considered a pre-existing illness. I had a normal physical 2 weeks before that, you know, my usual. I was actually, where's Lance? I was on a 25-mile bicycle ride. I'm training for a half a marathon. I was running 8 to 12 miles 2 days before surgery. I wasn't sick. My internist probably saved my life because he sent me for an x-ray just because I spit up some stuff. So I learned as a patient we can be lucky. I learned as a patient you got to fight with the insurance companies. And you really have to find a doctor you trust. In my case, the doctor was a foot taller than me and half my age, so I couldn't fight with him.
Right.
I decided I would not be a doctor. I made a deal with him I'd be a good friend with his. And I think if you're your own doctor, you're like that famous line with a lawyer. A lawyer has himself as a client is a fool. And I refuse to be my own.
One last question, Bart. You know, you used a word that's beautiful and religious at the same time. The word is covenant. A covenant between a doctor and a patient. Have we lost that in the world of specialists and silos? I mean, is that ever coming back?
I'm glad you picked up on that. I am sad that people put doctors on clocks. I'm sad we have to worry about this. I think there's something very special about being a physician. And I think when you're timed and you're billed, and I think with all the health care, and can I elaborate for just a minute? A couple of years ago, 60% of the revenue in an oncologist's office in private practice was the sale of the drug, ordering the test. We all think technology gives better care. We all think that all these tests give better care. Rather than sitting and talking with your physician, figuring out what to do for you and your family. We've lost it because I think as doctors we blew it. We didn't fight for the time. I got $100 if I spend 4 hours with a patient and a family, or an hour, whatever it is. I've never sent a bill. I've always been on university. But I think we've lost control to the tests and the technology because it was easier to bill. And even in this day, you can extend this to end of care. Tom Smith runs the geriatric cancer program in Virginia. He wrote a review article maybe a year and a half ago. And 25 to 30% of patients with terminal cancer dying of their disease get treatment within a week of death. I think that's horrible, but it's easier to write a script. It's easier to take care of disease. The covenant is gone because it's being depersonalized. We're losing the fact that doctors are taking care of disease sometimes, and because the pressure is there, and I'm sad about it. A third of graduates entering residency in the last couple of years, maybe it's 25, 30%, you're better with numbers, I'll look up the exact number, say they would not go into medicine again.
Yeah, that's a sad thing. Well, thank you very much, Bart. And it's something that for us to talk about, and we'll be talking to you too.